Well, thank you everybody for coming. It's absolutely wonderful to see, I'm going to say so many old faces, but I really don't mean that. So many faces from the past, so many faces from the past. And you all look remarkably well preserved. So there we are, there we are. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the department. And this is obviously the Department of Psychiatry at the University of Oxford. And it's a privilege. It's a privilege for us to host such an august gathering in such a good cause. Peter rescued me. I was a failing postgraduate student, rather disillusioned with psychology, when this younger man came and said, "John, I think you need to do some epidemiology." He wasn't quite that blunt, but that's really what it was. And so I did, and it was wonderful, knocking on doors, getting blood samples, water samples, getting bitten by dogs, all the sorts of things that shoe leather epidemiology gives you. But my biggest memory of Peter, and I think it is why you have come this afternoon, is his generosity of spirit. Yes, he is creative. Yes, he works hard. But yes, he is generous. And so I think it's very fitting for us to be very pleased to come and honour him this afternoon. So I have to pay tribute to George, whose initial idea it was, and to Catherine, who's made it all happen. And I look forward to a really interesting and exciting afternoon. We have a packed programme, so the first thing I'd like to do is to introduce Professor John Iredale from the Medical Research Council, who have very kindly supported this meeting. So, John.
Lovely, thanks very much, John. It wasn't really a difficult decision as the sort of senior representative of MRC to decide to support this event. But John and George, could we have a better venue next time? I'm probably the only one who's had to do cross-country runs schlepping around the Warnford site and Southfield Golf Club, because I was at school at what was Southfield School many years ago, and I can remember horrible freezing February mornings covered in mud romping down Divinity Road. So this comes with a sort of mixed emotion for me, very positive emotions, Peter, to celebrate you and your life, and very negative ones about cross-country runs, but be that as it may. Let's cut to the quick. If it were to be possible for an organisation to sort of register its organisational privilege, then I think, Peter, it would be fair to say, it would be absolutely fair to say that the MRC feels a huge privilege in having had the opportunity to support you and the Cardiff unit through all of the years that it was in existence. For those of you that haven't read it, and I saw Andy Ness brandishing a copy, there's a fabulous welcome witness report on the history of the Cardiff unit that I was steered to by my MRC fixers, and actually made hugely enjoyable reading. It's quite quaint in its description of MRC in some places. But I realised as I read it, and you've got to understand this is from someone whose academic career took place, significant chunks of it took place in Edinburgh in Scotland. I was a hospital-based liver physician. My research interest was in the lab, was in cell and molecular biology. But there are these names that kept cropping up. I mean, just a few of them: David Barker, David Tyrrell, Estlin Waters, Anthony Seaton, of course. In fact, I think technically I looked after his patients at one stage. And of course, latterly Andy Ness, George Davies Smith. And I thought, that's really interesting, because these aren't just names that you know. These are people that you've met, you've interacted with professionally. And then it just dawned on me that, if you like, was in the interface with my life, a sort of clear representation of the importance and the preeminence of the Cardiff unit to UK thinking about epidemiology, about clinical trials, about training people, and training people who would then move elsewhere in the UK. And I think that, if you like, is a sort of talismanic of its success. Peter, I'm not going to talk about a long list of trials and interventions and and important programs that you've led. I just wanted to mention the sort of, again, the status establishing importance of the Caerphilly study, the sheer volume of high quality research papers that have come out of that, you know, the level of recruitment of individuals to it at 90%, just extraordinary. And I think it would be fair to say that you've set many standards, Peter, and I just come back to where I started. I think if it's possible for an organisation to feel privileged for those it supports, we have it for you. Do please enjoy the afternoon.